your journey to wholeness. These techniques are best used before having a Panchakarma experience. I did this way and found it to be most helpful. For instance, I know that simply doing Shiodhara, slow release of warm sesame oil on your third eye, once a month, creates an incredible sense of calm and bliss that can last for days. How have I changed, you might ask? I have a deeper awareness of who I am in the essence of my being. Patterns or habits that I once perceived as obstacles, or did not even know were part of me, have fallen by the wayside. Bringing beauty into my life is most important. Now I walk in the wonder and beauty of life, and I know that at the deepest level, I am changed. I have the capacity to be an observer of the day I am entering, so that I am present with its challenges in a more balanced way. When I encounter people who are less than kind, I can now interact and not take their behavior personally. My level of discernment has grown immensely. I know when to separate myself from a toxic space by taking a quick walk outdoors to reconnect with nature. These quick walks aid my perspective as I hear the birds sing and feel the sun's warmth on my skin. Then I return. In the past, I found myself triggered in countless ways and found that come evening, I could not recover from the demands of the day. With the aid of my self-care practices and daily Ayurvedic rituals, I can maintain my capacity to be present long after the immediate effects of Panchakarma. That's the power of Panchakarma, and it's the reason I halted my integrated psychiatric practice for 5 weeks so that I could take a trip to Nagpur, India in spring 2014. In fall 2013, I yearned to go into retreat. I needed to shift how I was approaching my life and my work with those in my practice. I felt a strong internal push to be more authentic and present with parts of my being that had been tamped down by all my years of being a more allopathic trained psychiatrist, a model based on human-made scientific remedies. At the same time that I needed to be authentic, I also wanted the people who presented themselves to me to be authentic. Yet, I pondered, how would that manifest in the current paradigm in which I've been working? The answer was so complicated that I couldn't get to it with words. Instead, I found it in images. I have a deck of Zen cards created by Osho Zen, and one of the cards depicts a being breaking through a wall and standing empowered. I saw myself in that picture, but I still felt reluctant to move in that direction. How could I do that while maintaining an active practice that operated under a certain allopathic model? That fall, I had been in the Esalen Institute in Big Sur, California for a retreat. I joined others who were also seeking healthier ways to support people going through an emotional breakthrough, something that can be seen as a psychotic break in the current paradigm under which I then worked. Yet many of these amazing people with whom I shared this healing space had experiences that constituted a move beyond the need to be on medication, thriving in many ways. While at Esalen, we had time to receive nurturing massages and soak in the hot tubs by the sea. We were served healing food that often was harvested from the land on which we walked. We participated in healing sessions with intuitives working on site. During one of these sessions, I made a request, a divine declaration. I asked for the time and space to be able to share what was in my heart and share it with groups in healing places like Esalen. It was from here the idea was born to create time and space for myself. From here, I decided to go to Nagpur. Awakening. Who does this? Who puts a life on hold? A life that appears successful from most any perspective, to trek to distant Nagpur and then to the southern Himalayas. In truth, the inner urge to go to India was born about 10 years ago, when I sought out the Ayurvedic physician Sunil Joshi, MD Ayurvedic, in Albuquerque for my first Panchakarma. Joshi had moved to New Mexico more than 20 years ago from Nagpur, and began to offer Panchakarma only to those who were interested. He is clinically trained as a medical doctor from India and has a master's degree in Ayurveda with a focus on